All right, you guys, if you have made it this far, your work is caught up, and what you're going to do are some vector graphics. Vector graphics are graphics that have built-in points in them for other programs, or in some cases machines like a 3D printer to refer to. In this case, you're going to work in Gravit Designer using the vector tools to create an SVG file. SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. These are the kind of files that you can import into Tinkercad if the shapes in Tinkercad just aren't what you're looking for. To get to Gravit Designer, click on this link right here. It will take you out of the Pear Deck and to one of my favorite web tools of all time. Gravit Designer may take you to a splash page that has a start designing now or click here button. You do not have to sign in. You can just click the button. We're going to create some shapes to import into Tinkercad. Now you're going to have to do these one at a time. So here's my suggestion. If we want to stay with the nameplate, where it says the width for your canvas, go ahead and make this 12 and then change the unit to centimeters. Where it says height, let's make it, oops, you'll have to click right on that, 5 centimeters and create. When Gravit opens up, you'll barely be able to see the canvas, that is the working surface. But I'm going to show you here, if you click where it says the color of the canvas, what we want to do is make it transparent. So simply take the slider and move it until you can see the checkerboards. That is a blank canvas, and that's what we want. So it's only our shape that shows up. Now I'm going to show you about the vector tools. Here is a pen that is a vector tool. It is going, if you click on this pen, you click and then 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 go back to your original part, your original starting place, double click, and it will have a shape. And then if you click on the arrow, you can move it anywhere you want. If you click on a subselect arrow, then what you can do is manipulate your lines in this vector tool. You can stretch a point out. It will give you little levers you can use to bend the curve. And I'm going to stay within my canvas, but you can see, you can create all kinds of your own shapes using this vector tool. I am going to click on this whole shape. I'm just going to hit the backspace key and delete it. I can also just use a shape. If I want to make an ellipse or a polygon, let's do a polygon. I can just draw my shape out and I can move it onto my canvas, and then I can manipulate my shape how I want it. If I go over here, I can change the number of points in my polygon with the slider. I can have it as many sides as I want. I can also use this slider to soften the corners. I can make my corners rounded if I want to. And I can also change the color down here, and I want mine just to be a solid color. There it is. Remember, it's going into Tinkercad, so the color doesn't matter. And then I can also click on this shape, and I can use this tool, which converts it to path. This means it's going to convert it to a vector image. Once I click that, and get my subselect tool, now I have the ability to manipulate my shape with the vector tools. I can, of course, manipulate the point as well. So there is now a very weird shape, one unlike anything you're going to find in Tinkercad. By the way, I can use a text tool, and in the text tool, I can also click and convert that to a path. And I can also create a variety of shapes. The star shape, for instance, it allows me to manipulate the corners. It allows me to change the number of points. It allows me to control the depth of how it goes. Lots of options. Now, I like my shape. I want this to be part of my nameplate. File, export, and I'm going to export as a scalable vector graphic. Exporting it in this kind of file is going to preserve all of those vector points, and that is what Tinkercad needs. I'll click here, and you can see it's downloading right down here. If I then go to Tinkercad, once I have a Tinkercad file open, I can go to the Import button, choose a file, and wherever it is you saved that file, I know that on my computer, mine is in the Downloads folder. Double-click it. I can see it right there, and I can click Import. And there it is. Now you can see in Tinkercad, sometimes it has a little bit of trouble translating the size. No problem. You can resize it how you want. There you go. Now you've got your crazy weird shape that you created as with vector graphic tools and saved as an SVG, scalable vector graphics file, imported into Tinkercad. You can do this in order to import any different fonts that you want besides just a couple that Tinkercad has. Here's the trick. If you do all your font, your shape, and any other shapes you want to add, those will all come out as one file, and you will not be able to separate and move them. So you will have to do each part that you want to add to your nameplate separately. Make a shape, go back to grab it, make text, go back to grab it, add some other shapes, see if you can build a nameplate that is with imported shapes from Grab It Designer. Good luck.